Hey, Danger Noodles. I'm so very sorry that I couldn't stream Wednesday or Thursday. Things got in the way, but soon you'll have a whole bunch of YouTube streams. I'll be busy tomorrow, so I can't do YouTube streams tomorrow. But after that, all the way till Thursday, I'll be doing YouTube streams and Twitch streams. So yeah, look out for that. Anyways, how the fuck do I say this Gryffindor's name?
Samdation?
Samdation?
That'd be my first guess.
I could look it up.
Sure.
Can you copy and paste it into the thing so I don't need to slowly type it out? Because there's nowhere for me to copy paste. I'm not at that thing like you are. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, while you're looking it up, I'll tell something funny about Busta. You see, I have this little thing. You know those, like, rainbow-colored plastic fence things for, like, little infants you put inside?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that for Busta.
Babies.
Yeah, I have that for Busta because he a lot of the times he'll usually go in there to, like, be left alone. However, if I have to go somewhere and I put him in there, he will act so upset, acting like, how dare you put me in here? This is the worst thing ever. I hate this place. And later on, he won't want to go in. Like, what? I don't understand him.
A fickle creature.
And it's not like he doesn't have things in there. He has dog toys in a dog bed. So he's not bored. He has his own stuff.
I think it's multiple words crunched together.
Yeah.
Sure.
Hence why right after that it says meaning big 3 lifts a total 1,000 kilograms.
Yeah.
Samdation, I'm gonna guess is how you say it.
Yeah.
So basically what I said.
Yeah. Alright. How should me react to the description last stream and we were both saying what the fuck to it? Anyways. Samdation. Samdation, meaning Big 3 lifts total 1,000 kilograms, is an organization that researches, captures, and sells anomalies related to the physical enhancement and life extension. Starting as a director-led fitness center in 1970, Samdation grew to be the biggest anomalous gang in Korea in the 1890s, led by its CEO, M. Hae-young. Samdation is a corporealized group comprised of 3 highly specialized subsidiaries: fitness, healthcare, and sports. It is found that owners of each subsidiary are competing for the position of CEO. Samdation follows a strict hierarchy and possesses advanced paranormal technologies and forces. The destruction of the paranormal ecosystem caused by their indiscreet poaching of spiritual wildlife, along with their connections to criminal organizations and bizarre fitness goods that are too conspicuous for civilian eyes, pose a significant threat to the Foundation's failed policy. Therefore, excessive counteraction is required.
Why? Why?
Piss.
Festus. He yells at me.
Now, let's see if it actually has any SCPs connected to it. Hatchet, guess the number how many SCPs are connected to it before I go.
Why do you want him to guess?
I don't know.
I had my headset off, what was being said.
Guess how many
she's
SCPs are
expecting
connected
you
to this group.
Yeah, she's expecting you to wizard a number up.
Oh.
Poop the magic out of your butt and guess.
3.
1.
Oh, okay.
That's actually funny. If there were actually 3, that would be even funnier. Well, we only have 1. Oh my gosh, and it's a steroid injection.
We don't know if it's that.
It
but
says right there in the
definitely looks
picture.
bad. Oh god, that's what it says under the picture?
Yes!
Yes.
Oh god. Oh,
Oh, look, it's a Keter. Anyways, item SCP-903-KO, Object Class Keter. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-903-KO solution must be kept in sealed glass containers ready for weighing at all times. The solution is weighed weekly, and in case of weight decrease, mnestics are to be applied to suspects. Any experiments using 903-KO are prohibited. Due to 903-KO's prevalence in the public market and resemblance to regular steroid solutions, complete containment of 903-KO is currently impossible. Therefore, 903-KO's containment procedures are further subdivided into containment and retrieval procedures. Special retrieval procedures. Users of SCP-903-KO are to be deduced by observing the reactions of suspected anabolic steroid users. A list of questions is provided to suspected 903-KO users is as follows. Have you used steroids? Is your bulk completely natural? At which point did you start working out? Suspects showing excessive denial to these questions should go through mass index measurement and physical performance testing immediately. If the mass index shows extreme readings over 30, or if the suspect shows an unusual spike performance, suspects be locked and dosed with amnestics. FFMI is used. Footnote 1. If such measures prove the suspect is an 903-KO user, they are transported to a private mental asylum? What does this do? Alright, description.
Aaron,
Yeah?
I will say, whatever it does, even normal steroids affects how you act. So, think of SCP steroids.
Mm-hmm. Damn.
It might make them overly aggressive. I'm saying since steroids, if overused, will make someone more aggressive.
Ah. Gotcha. Alright, description. SCP-903-KO is a type of anabolic steroid. Foundation Healthcare is known to be the first manufacturer of SCP-903-KO. See addendum. Footnote 2. However, the current manufacturer is unknown. Scientific analysis cannot distinguish 903-KO and regular steroids. 903-KO's molecular structure is identical to regular anabolic steroids. As 903-KO's anomaly manifests when injected into the user's body, the user denies ever using any performance-enhancing drugs, including 903-KO. This applies to users who previously admitted to using steroids, as they deny all steroid usage, including those before injecting 903-KO. Also, 903-KO users read negative on all known steroid doping tests. As such, 903-KO users firmly believe that they did not use steroid, and conversely shows hostility towards steroid users. Injection of 903-KO cannot be recorded on any medium. Witnesses of such injections also fall victim to 903-KO's anomaly. The only current available method to distinguish 903-KO is using amnestics. When memories are revived via amnestics, the user expresses extreme guilt. 95% of users' dose of amnestics have showed depression, 37% of which attempted suicide. Generally, weekly doses of 903-KO over 750 milligrams cause side effects of regular Anabolic steroids, such as acute cardiac arrest, disturbances in sex hormones, nerve damage, and psychiatric disorders. However, 903KO's side effects are more common and further amplified due to an indiscreet overdose caused by the user's obliviousness to their own steroid usage. The Foundation obtained 903KO's production procedures, and thanks to the Foundation intervention, Foundation halted further 903KO production. However, 903KO instances with the same anomaly as Foundation batch were found to be manufactured in bulk in places such as the Philippines, Thailand, and Malaysia. Following the discovery, 903KO's containment perimeters were widened from South Korea to the entire world. 903KO's object class was redesignated to Keter. 903KO users are commonly seen actively advocating for each other, whether this is 903KO's unknown anomaly is yet unclear.
So it's basically an SCP drug that, as in, like, something hard to secure or contain because they don't even know who's making it, and has anomalous effects. And one of its effects literally make it easier for people to kill themselves.
Yeah.
Oh.
It gets, we're not done yet.
Quickly, before we continue, what should I name my dog in Stardew?
Machpo.
What?
I just write this right here. I just chose a random name right here.
Hey, Jerry, you want to give a suggestion?
Okay.
Bussy.
What should I name my dog? I'm not naming my dog Bussy.
Bright, you are not a good namer.
Right, you are not a good person.
Oh. Okay.
If you can fit this name, I suggest it. It means kindness, mercy, charity, and it also means help, protect, bless. And
Noise. And Woo. My dog's name is Enwu.
Alright, then I'll go ahead and continue now. Alright, addendum. Promotional text on time of initial 903KO obtainment. Do you want beautiful muscles? Do you want to increase performance? Then do not hesitate. No more guilt from steroids. We at Foundation Healthcare understand you. It wasn't you who made you poke that steroid needle on your skin. It was society. Don't be daunted by other people's hypocrisy. Your muscles are a result of your achievement. Foundation Steroids will be your companion. Foundation Healthcare.
is it too early to call a group evil?
No.
I mean, we know that they do poaching, so they were always going to go into the evil category.
That's fair.
Major reviews. My son just couldn't pass his physical college entrance test, but it's helped out a lot. Foundation Steroid helped a mother get her son's confidence and performance. It's like killing two birds with one stone. 47-year-old housewife from Busan. Oh my god.
Would it come back to parents that can't let their kids chill?
It gets worse. It works excellent on my students. Their natural context performance froze exceptionally well. It passes the doping test, so I can use it from when they are young. Would use it again. 39-year-old gym leader from Seoul.
Oh. might have accidentally killed a few children. God damn.
It's pricey, but I'm mostly satisfied. My dad's joyed by all the new games. Where do the side effects appear? 17-year-old student from Mokpo. We hereby from you. The user is responsible for all side effects caused by the product, and Syndication does not hold liability for any compensation. I read that bit faster than the other text because that's usually what happens in ads. They just read. So, I think we know. Oh, wait, I just realized I forgot to open the tier list.
Right! I vote lawful evil.
Yeah, I could go for that since like they've got a rigid hierarchical structure.
Yeah.
In light of the mentioning of poaching, did y'all hear about that one Texas millionaire who was a trophy hunter getting gored to death by a buffalo in South Africa?
Yes, may the buffalo be blessed.
Yes. Wait, I saw like one of those "I'm building a team" memes, and it was a buffalo, an orca, and the fucking Ocean Gate submarine.
Did I forget to add Samdation? Or did they not add it when I added it? I don't. It could be either.
Do you want me to look up a symbol for them now?
Now, I already have a symbol.
Oh.
Alrighty, so I gotta edit the fucking tier list again. Where's the edit button?
It just seems that the website didn't hold on to it for some reason.
Alright, choose additional files, open. Wait, is this show?
I will say, their symbol is very easy to spot.
Die, slime. That was a rich slime. It had an amethyst in it.
Oh.
What?
That it had an amethyst. Also,
Uh,
I would like to say, there's a special, like, place in somewhere. There has to be a special place somewhere specifically for groups like this group, even if it's a fictional group, where, like, they endanger children.
yeah.
Because even if the group is fictional, there are real people like them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, ready to see the next group?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Alright. Next one is Seocheon Country Club. Oh no. I already get told bad things about country clubs.
Well, just because it's bad in our country doesn't mean it's bad in Korea.
Well, we'll find out. Alright. Overview. Seocheon Country Club is a group of interests whose identity and location are unclear. Based on fragments of data, it is considered that Seocheon Country Club refers both to a specific extra-dimensional space associated with the Seocheon flower fields from Korean mythology, and to a gathering of independent entities operating from this space. Whether they are hostile or threatening, their scale and purpose of activities are currently unknown. However, judging from SCP's and persons of interest with suspected relations to Seocheon Country Club, it is certain that some of them are powerful reality benders or mythological entities. The Museum Department and MTF Unit Shondo 9,000-year elder are closely tracking this Seocheon Country Club. I almost read this as something else.
That's okay. We remember your dyslexia.
No, Well, I was gonna. I stopped myself, but I was going to say the Muslim
Like I said,
department.
you have
I was gonna say
dyslexia. We kind of expect you to make mistakes.
All right, Jerry.
the Muslim department.
All right, Jerry. Since Patrick guessed the last one, guess how many SCPs are connected to it?
5. I'm probably wrong. It's probably 1.
1. Not even sure it's SCP. Oh, it's part of the Wanderer's Library.
Oh.
That's horrifying.
Huh.
In this
Oh.
world, we walk the roof of hell, gazing at the flowers.
And then there's that.
That fucking
Photograph taken in the state of Bahrain. Is that how you pronounce that? Bahrain? Or should I look that up?
Go on.
Huh?
Uh, yeah, if you want to, Jerry.
I kind of want to because I don't like mispronouncing things.
That's fair. But this image is terrifying. I'm just gonna go down. It's
Is
just
there something about the
unsettling.
picture I'm missing?
Do you not see the creepy image?
Sorry.
It's fine.
do you know, exasperatedly says, "Do you not see the creepy image?" The answer is burp.
Gulf and is an archipelago made of artificial entry in Bahrain. Bahrain.
Bahrain. Bahrain. Okay. Bahrain. Okay. Photograph taken in the state of Bahrain, May 19th, 2015. Presumed to be the pox demon. Paranormal historian, not historian. Paranormal historian, I have no idea to pronounce that, is staying in a place I can't pronounce
That's
for
all right.
a short period of time to conduct research on it. If you want to know the progress and trace the study, please ask me or Liu directly. I don't know if I even pronounced that name right.
I like the symbol.
It's really pretty. Mark found in most of the groups related to God, you know what? You read that. You read that chaos.
For you Lomancers?
I have no idea.
Aliens.
Alright. I guess you want me to read the rest, Jerry?
Yeah. Sorry.
That's fine. Alright, traits. Pox demon is a spiritual being that has been considered the source of epidemics, such as smallpox in many countries around the world. Oh.
Fun.
So he's basically a natural force of nature and
Yeah. To nail down in advance, it is not logical to seek the root of every epidemic from the pox demon. If that were the truth, it could have been built a country or two just by the number of them. Yeah, the appearance of the pox demon varies from individual to individual, appearing in literature to a variety of forms ranging from formless beings to demons to just simple humans. It is not clear if this is part of their cognitive distortion capability, but it is possible to be inferred that there is no fixed form of themselves. Nature. There are two main types of pox demons. The first case is called pox ghosts, and the second case is called pox deity. Pox ghost is a typical example of a vengeful soul, a category in which ectoplasm has grown into a malevolent spirit. It is said to emphasize spiritual aspects far more than the type of pox deity, and is held full of grudge in many cases. The obvious difference between pox ghosts and ordinary resentful phantoms is that the object of vengeance of the former does not exist from the beginning. So if the common phantoms are in assassin mode, does that mean these guys are in berserker mode from the very beginning? They also seem to have little preference for a means of possession and sometimes wander in groups. Intelligence is present, but rarely expressed because of its characteristic aggression and eccentricity. Eccentricity. What kind of? You know what comes to mind when you think of ghosts? The mouth is open, as if torn open, and it laughs, shaking its scarfy in one blonde hair into a sinister choice, grotesquely moving around in those conditions. Like the old one behind you right now. Oh, come on. These footnotes are amazing. Alright, the Grim Phantoms, or GOI of Joseon, different types of different forms from Book of Sand and Rock. They only face pox demons in Kasuga Gongen Genki-e, Yuzu Butsu, Enki, and Maki. Oh, that's a broken link. Number dot 0091. I wonder if it's necessary to call it in. Redact this term. There's no proper substitute, really. Don't know his real name, and it would be odd to call him just a pox demon for this, etc. Are examples of pox ghosts. In these types, it was believed that the Grim Phantoms were beings become by who had died a victimized death, just as ordinary vindictive ghosts are, and their resentment, mortification, and loneliness make them accumulate vexuous energy, damaging the harmony and therefore causing an unusual calamity. This calamity is soon represented by an outbreak of pox. When the disease spread to Joseon, an exorcistical robe was sent to prevent people from entering or leaving the area, and at the same time, the supernatural response organizations at the time, such as Nazi Task Force and its successor, Anti-Abomination Guard. Is this supposed to be the MTF and GOC?
I don't know.
In short, is this the organization responding to the Gongyo Association? I think they fit more with the Bureau of Onmyo. They're the Confucian Taliban, so to speak, and the right combination of jailers and book burners. Okay, so most likely. Send their personnel to deal with the situation. Alright, the spiritual year of the Black Cow. Case number 2. Description. Pox ghost appeared in Jola Providence. Person in charge, entrusted Lord Bang Yun, the Anti-Abomination Guard Inspector. Conclusion. After an engagement with Anti-Spiritual Battalion, the exorcism is executed. State of affair, added to the secret records and closed the case. Scholarly says this time when we investigated smallpox that had spread throughout the land of Sheola, we found that its aura was bad and contained full of resentment. It was clear that something evil was happening. In response, the official documents were sent to the officials of the Jeolong region, having them investigate local priestesses one by one to gather the facts that they had ascertained, and it soon became clear that there was a powerful pox demon in the area. This pox ghost is an entity that spreads plague among people, and its roots are truly ancient and unfathomable. Immediately consulting the Anti-Abomination Guard records. This is a book written by the Taoist who served in a not-saying task force in the Anti-Abomination Guard. The existence of abominations called the Guest and Headless Demon are documented. My guess is that the analogous entities were existed from this slow period. If true, they would have appeared very frequently from long ago until recently. Anti-Spiritual Battalion will soon reach its destination. They would perform a special ritual to ward off the pox ghost as soon as they arrive. Addendum. During the ritual, a pox ghost ran rampant and infected several villagers with smallpox. Battalion exorcised it. Pox deity is a group of deities worshipped by the people. That means there's some kind of slip ghost, right? No, wrong. But the so-called slip title is very powerful in the world of worship. Including Gosu Tenno and Hosogami of Japan, Sopana of Yoruba religion, Shitala of India, Shaoshin Nainang of China, and Pazuzu of ancient Mesopotamian religion. However, this example could change at any time, since the illustrations of pox deities in history books bear a striking resemblance to the figures of Variomancers and Sarkites. Oh no. Why them? It is not surprising that the beings now presumed to be pox deities are revealed to be some of them. My personal opinion, pox deities and fleshies are equally full of annoyances. The serpent's hand calls the Sarkics fleshies. I was not prepared for that. I'm sorry. I'll continue.
You're good.
Laugh away.
Even pox ghosts can belong to pox deities if it becomes an object of worship, in which case it becomes more powerful than before. Pox deities are usually able to spread plague over a wider area, making them generally more threatening than pox ghosts. This is attributed to the increase in Akiva radiation due to worship, and it is thought to be influenced not only by worship of their own beings, but also by the worship of the result of their actions, the plague itself. The obvious characteristic of pox demons is their manipulation on plants spreading of disease. This ability is presumed to be due to a reality bending based on pure psychic ability, rather than having developed out of sarcasm. As in Variomancers, which will be discussed below. They rarely abuse abilities and, according to some illustrations, seem to enjoy the act itself. History and associated parties. There are certain entities that are indispensable when discussing the history of the pox demons, and these are the Variomancers, as the name implies. Variomancers are the thaumatologists who operate in variomancy that manipulates disease, and the origin of it can be sought in the Guest, which is a broken link. Great.
I love broken links.
Oh no, I already see something further ahead. The Guest was a group composed of 3 followers of Naka. If it doesn't explain what Naka is, I won't. Well, see, I told you, do not rewrite it as Sarkic, please. It's kind of an occupational disease, sweetheart. You just want to call it that way. Okay, so it doesn't explain. Naka is the eldritch god of instinct that tried to get rid of free will, but McCain stopped them and died doing so.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if you knew that, Hatchet. Like, that was their name.
Yeah.
Yeah, alright. From the late Deva and one Cillian, formed when the former 3 were expelled from Deva and exiled to Silla, one of the ancient Korean kingdoms. They were the main exponents of the Variomancy based in the Nalka Hemamancy. Although Hemamancy, or flesh crafting, focuses on bodily bodily deformation, using blood as a primary ingredient, the Variomancy they use is more similar to reality bending than such a mechanism, and bodily deformation as an unintended byproduct of this process. In Daylight Thaumaturgy. At the time of my initial investigation, I thought the Variomancy could only control smallpox because of its name, but grasped that it was capable of controlling typhus and other infectious diseases. I guess some cells were thought to persist in smallpox, though. Is typhus an actual disease?
Huh? Typhus?
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Yeah, it's an actual disease.
Typhoid.
Typhoid?
Typhus fevers are a group of diseases caused by bacteria that are spread by humans.
You've
Spread
never
to
heard?
humans by fleas, lice, and chiggers. That's an uncomfortable word to say.
Never heard of
God.
Typhoid Mary?
No. Well, you learn
Have you
something
heard
new
of
every day.
Typhoid fever?
Nope.
It wiped out so many people, and I thought you were a history major.
Again, I will say my school did not teach everything. The main diseases we learned were smallpox, influenza, and the bubonic plague, and Spanish flu, and that was it.
Bruh.
I learned about it outside of school because it was such a historical thing that wiped out so many people. In fact, Typhoid Mary was literally a carrier who showed no symptoms, who refused to believe that her cooking for anyone infected anyone. That's how she infected so many people, by not washing her hands all the time and basically denying all ability to infect people because she never believed she was infected.
Oh, I almost forgot there was another disease, the White Death.
Tuberculosis, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, there's lots of diseases that affected history, but typhoid is one of the big swingers. That's like
You didn't. Wait, they didn't even talk about yellow fever?
No. I know what that is,
That
but
was
I've
like,
never taught about it.
Wait, they didn't?
No.
that was like another really important one. This
What about
fucking
scarlet fever?
No.
You know what? Why don't we just get back to this? And
Yeah. I actually had to
heard-
learn one on my own, which was polio. They refused to teach about that.
Let me just. I'm not going to look up the history of typhoid, but I'm just going to copy and paste the symptoms. Then I'm just going to do the same thing with the others.
Okay, then I'll just
Part of
continue
me
reading.
hurts.
Anyways, fuck American education. Anyways.
it's ironic. Pretty sure Bright would be particularly susceptible to scarlet fever, considering how many times you've gotten strep.
Yeah.
I even got into my muscles once.
Scarlet fever is a bacterial illness that develops in some people who have strep throat, also known as scarlatia. Scarlet fever features a bright red rash that covers most of the body. Scarlet fever almost always includes a sore throat and a high fever.
I have copied a very basic description for all three. And I will grab one picture for each, which will be, of course,
Spoiled.
something you'll need to click on because I would not show pictures that are undiluted.
Yeah. Anyways, I guess I'll go back to the SCP. Anyways, their ideology was to build an ideal society in which people do not oppress each other, and they used the Verliomancy to achieve this goal. They believed that the smallpox infection could select strong people who would not ostracize others. They infected people with the disease to some people who are
Build an ideal society in which people do.
they infected people with disease intentionally. Then again, this is talking about Sarkics and Davites, which makes sense. What? Does this make sense? I got blown away when I first heard it too. Even the servant's hand is confused. It is unclear.
There's another
Huh?
footnote.
Yeah, I got blown away
Isn't
too.
there? Isn't
Yeah, 19 was the one we read about typists. So yeah.
well, yeah. Well, I was thinking you didn't look at 20.
No, I was just reading what they said. What does this make sense? Yeah. That's why I said the servant's hand's even confused. Yeah, it is unclear whether it was because of this ideology, but the Verliomancers didn't confine themselves only to the Korean Peninsula, but also around the Central and East Asian regions. This has resulted in the birth of organizations inspired by them in various countries. The representative organizations of Verliomancers in the Ethics of Flower School. In China, smallpox is euphemistically called Tianhua, which means heaven's flower. Their name is thought to derive from this. Of China, Clan Hoso of Japan, and Seolga of Korea. Ethics of Flower School is known for its Confucian view of Verliomancy's ideological background, and it became a member of the Abnormal Objects and Phenomena Institute of China in later generations. Not much is specifically known about them, but it's assumed that this is because they became prime targets of Queen oppression. The Minerally Institute themselves also decayed due to Queen's oppression. Epidemic never benefits this country, you know. Moreover, they wouldn't have looked sweet judging by their affiliation, which involved the customs and principles of the old country. Written documents only contained 1 or 2 lines of information about the ethics of Flower School, so there is no detailed information on the rank and members within the group, only the narrative of Song Langshi, the supposed founder of the Ethics of Flower School, stands out. Song Langshi was a Taoist in the early period of 5 dynasties and 10 kingdoms, and is said to have been basically skilled in the art of life extension and shapeshifting. In 915, when the guests were on their way to southern Siberia via Yan State, they would have tried to return to their own homeland, redacted. He blocked their way and asked them to try a thaumaturgy face-off, but the confident Sung soon failed miserably. The inevitable if one just used thaumaturgy, the other had mastered the Nakamancy and the art of Deva and Verliomancy. Well, in the case of the head of Solgla mentioned below, it is possible to counteract them with Hemiomancy alone, so I suppose that there is a difference in strength of the individuals. They asked them to teach him a lesson. After this, Sung came and went between the borders of Yan State and Khitan, gathering power and establishing the Poxy Aid Association, the forerunner of the ethics of Flower School, which would develop into a group that would last for generations of his descendants. The clan Hoso, as well, a well-known family has been dealing with the pox demons since before they met the guest, is a member of Shushu Inn and has reported been in existence at least since 773. When the guest first came to Japan in 995, Hoso Turutora, the clan's head of the time, met with them and realized the beauty of the true Pharaohmancy in its resplendence. And 3 days of question and answer. Considering their behavior, I think it would be some kind of hint that they just knocked the stuffing out of him, you know? You have a gift historian, which is not recorded in any literature, so secretly the clan Hoso members handed and passed down this art from generation to generation. One noteworthy thing is the method they use for allomancy. Unlike the guests who cause frequent smallpox infections, they are truly comparable to the pox demons. The clan Hoso, unlike them, attempted to prevent the spread of smallpox and other epidemics within Japan. Suggests that the knowledge derived from the guests may have been altered as it was passed down. Existing records show that both their lifestyle and their use of pharmacomancy had only a slight narcotic color, and there were no part of intentional attempt to infect pox. Their belief differed from the value-neutral academic perspective of the ethics of Flower School and the radical social reformist ideology of the guests, but rather displayed a protective and therapeutic character. After the Kanai Great Famine, descriptions of them changed dramatically. In general, the surname Hoso is rarely found in records of the post-famine Shushu-in. In this situation, in the same of the records of the pox-related collections for which they were originally responsible, instead the position was filled by a group with the surname. How the hell do I say this? Nikaho?
Mm.
I'm going with Nikaho. Anyways, Nikaho, which is considered a variant of Hoso. In fact, a researcher named Nikaho Jichi, who appears in one record, mentions the darkness of his predecessor and mentions the name Hoso Toratora. It seems certain that the Hosos and Nekahos are the same kins, as inferred from the honorific title Grandshire he added. The Seolga is a proto-Nalka group of the Korean Peninsula, whose history began with the late Silla. However, unlike the other two above groups, it is hostile to the guests and is only one that does not use the Ferliomancer's seal for the groups influenced by them. Their head, Shou Young, birth and death dates are known. They were an immigrant from Gui Song, who settled in late Silla. They are assumed to be the one involved in the Nalka diaspora, or a descendant of it. The original presumed rank in Nalka was Karcist. In records, they're mainly referred to as Sol Shinin. Drove them out after engaging in a battle, and perhaps because of this, one of the main activities of the Sol Gates was to exterminate the pox demons. They regularly launch nationwide involvements to clean up pox demon by estimating periodic plague outbreaks. Of course, doing this does not seem to have completely eradicated the plague. They have been perfectly prevented those measles, smallpox, dysentery, and other contagious diseases would have never have been recorded in history of the Korean Peninsula. And the root of the plague is not only just the pox demons, basically. Except for a few periods when they themselves were in great danger. Great Famine of 1670 and 1671 in Korea. This is a typical example. Solga seems to have been engaged in these kinds of relief works. According to the Book of Raja, rumors of pox demons exterminators could be heard throughout the country until before 1912. However, perhaps in part because of this rumor, the Imperial Japanese Anomalous Matters Examination Agency, oh no, The IJAMEA at the time began gathering information on Solga as part of the Operation Kutaku 3. Then in December 1912, 2 platoons from IJAMEA branch office in Korea, under the direction of the main office, went into action, resulting in the invasion of the Seoul-gate village named Seoul Hamlet, which had existed on top of Mount Jiri. Oh.
Jerry's got a mountain.
Yeah.
Wait, what? What? Where?
which had existed on top of Mount Jiri. There's a mountain.
Oh, God. What? What?
Jiri's so shocked.
Well, I wasn't expecting that. I was half paying attention because I was grabbing the history of various giant diseases in American history.
Yeah. Anyways.
Oh my gosh, Mount Jiri! Oh no, I can't say it like that. I can't say it like that. Mountain Jiri. Let's never say it as Mount Jiri.
Anyways, which had existed on the top of Mount Jiri.
Oh god.
Mountain. Only mountain.
I was about to ask, like, what's wrong with MTG, the full statement, and then like I said it in my head, and I was like, oh gods, oh no.
Anyways, this made me hard to put to it to do research on Solga. According to the Book of Vajna, more than half of the villagers were shot dead on the spot or taken to bases under the command of IJMEA branch office in Korea. Again, not surprised I'm from that group. Anyways. If I remember correctly, IJMEA basically wants to bring back the Empire of Japan. 30 useful anomalies, if I remember correctly.
My goodness.
So I'm not surprised. Anyways. Thereafter, the activities of Seoul Gates declined markedly and have continued to the present day. The existence of such organizations suggests that the fact that the pox demons have been part of the human history for a very long time, and just as mundane worlds people eventually found a solution to disease, people in the anomalous one also have dealt with it in their own way. Alright, approach. Pox demons are entities basically dedicated solely to spreading pestilence, a vicious grudge, and evil spirits that do not even feel guilty about their actions. If you encounter one, you should leave the area immediately. It is also recommended to visit nearby medical facilities. It sounds like a joke, but there's no guarantee that you won't get sick if you encounter a real pox demon, and nothing you can do if you contract disease that isn't understood by modern medicine. There isn't a way to drive them out. Our own review of documents concerning pox demons and the Firelancers revealed the existence of an art of pox demons termination. What appears to be in common in each culture, however, its descriptions in the literature are all different, and there's no way to confirm whether the technique is effective when implemented. It would have been easy to encounter pox demons in times like these in the first time, which has led to a heated debate among scholars to this day. The most reliable and effective way is to threaten with a red presence of any kind. It is said that in all cultures, pox demons are said to fear the color red, and in particular, people from the clan Nikaho or Nikaho, always wore red clothes, perhaps to ward off them. I thought they all just liked red. If so, the story recorded in Nishi in Shinshishi of newspaper Shiki, 1975, that the girl in red clothes riding a rickshaw and redacted and disappeared before one knows. Does this mean that she was from clan Nikaho? Oh wait, are these stories from different groups? Wait a minute, hold on. What is the symbol?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, here we go. Here's from this group right here. This is what we were looking for with this group. Alright.
So in other words, because you lacked the ability to double check what you were looking at.
Yeah.
We just sat here and listened to an unrelated document for like what 15 minutes at the very least, probably more.
And because of her meandering through it, you heard the line Mount Geary.
It was worth it for that. Anyways.
Okay,
Right.
yeah, that's fair actually.
Anyways, here's a footnote for this group. Never seen this before. Where does this belong? Session Country Club, a resort for all the deities and monsters of the world, is located in Jeju Island. Is the current residence of Kim Seo-hyun, member of the Guest. It reminds me of the three... I can't tell if this is supposed to be a T or a J. A company or the Tonyo Yokai Sanctuary. Alright. Do you know the Pox Demon's mask? You asked me an unusual question, Miss Lu. Of course, I know I've been watching them for a very long time. Could be almost a lifetime. Pox ghosts were among the most bothersome of all the demons to my masters, with their irrational behavior and indiscriminate brutality being rather nuisances. More than one, the area's punishments and routes have been intervened by those ghosts. Judging by his saying, it seems both Pox ghosts and Pox deities are commonly referred to just as Pox ghost. Well, they didn't need to extinguish them, basically. For that reason, I have removed or killed them so that no one will be taken unexpectedly. Such secret arts are often used in the Shushuin, especially when dealing with the collections that are associated with the Pox ghosts, such as number 9901 and number 1175. The combination of Ferromancy and suppressive charms should be treated as strong chain to bind a Pox ghost. The number 9991, which was suppressed by researcher Nikaho Kinshishiro, was imprisoned by suppression technique in 1820. That is relatively weak, so there are many times when it escaped from its collective state. Therefore, at the end of 1919, the ER became a researcher again and constructed the technique. I don't have the opportunity to execute such works as they are when I joined the Imperial Japanese Anomalous Matters Examination Agency, but used some of them when I carried out the Operation Hakutaku 3. In the subsequent measures, it seems the agency had knowledge of Pox ghosts even before I proposed this project. From 1870 onward, the Meiji government's demand for measures against smallpox and cholera led to the creation of a department within the agency to study these types. Well, now I regret that I could not push the project forward to the end. 2 years after the proposal was made, I left the agency in 1919 and 1920. For all years, cholera was rampant in Korea. I was in Japan from September 1919.
Wait.
Huh?
What did you say?
Cholera?
Where is it? Cholera.
Cholera. Ah.
You don't know what cholera is?
No?
Is that another disease I'll have to look up?
At this point, like, if this was turned into a YouTube video, the title would just need to be Bright Doesn't Know What Diseases Are.
Shut up. Anyways. I was in Japan from
Aaron, I mean. Fuck.
I was in Japan from September 1919 to September 1923. I owe you an apology. They crossed my mind the memories of yore. If you ask me whether or not the technique still can be useful, the answer is yes. However, it takes a long time to learn, as you must have a basic knowledge of the suppression technique and rudiments of the area of radiomancy. The Nikaho people learned this from an early age, which is why they were able to handle it as well as I did. You have to be prepared to take that long. Perhaps the Book of Frajna, that it gave you many may be of use. Little guest, Kim Hyun. Shushuin, I'm sorry to say, but what he just said sounds so familiar. In Book of Frajna, how could he know that? Because is the Nikohana, I guess? What? Yes, I have to apologize first. You guys are really diligent in your research, so I kept quiet so as not to disturb you. Nikohana, Basa Shen, and Kim Hyun are the same person. After returning from America, I suppose I need to add a few things. The whole world would be right, not just America. Redacted severely. It's not only active in the United States, you know. It's a large ass redacted.
Okay.
Herman's fuller circus of disquieting? He really got around about that. Wait, is this supposed to be Herman Fuller's of disquieting?
Maybe.
Kim Hyun. Translator note. Read. That. In Mikun Rashower romanization, it is written as that. Turned to clan Nakaho and was appointed to Shushuin. After that, it is as you guys have looked into. He worked until 1919, then returned to the Shushuin, and a few years later, he terrorized the base of IJAMEA branch office in Korea. He was then captured and engaged in labor on Utsushima Island. He implied that he had done something else after the end of World War II, but I could not ask him for details. The agency might be an independence movement after all. Could be he had been ashamed of his days at the agency, probably until even now. I could hear the word everywhere. Sounds like he's the one like me. May not have been able to escape from the yoke either. Meanwhile, the clan Nakaho seems to be still choosing to go into hiding. The only person known for certain to be descendant of the Nakahos is Nakaho Maya, who currently attends as a first-year student in Hanakago School. She is known as the great-granddaughter of Nakaho Kenjiro, the brother of Nakaho Satsuo mentioned above. After contacting her, we found that she had no understanding of the characteristics of her clan or the principles of Phronomancy itself. No, I don't think we should be hasty. These are people who have lived in hiding from the paranormal world for more than 80 years. Since they are already in their 4th generation, it's likely they have been pre-educated to keep the secret. They may be hiding it from us on purpose. We are currently tracking down the descendants of the clan Nakaho, or where the traces that may still exist. So, from this information, they were trying to get rid of Pox demons, which is a good thing. So what they do. But I kind of feel bad that they were captured by the IJMEA. Because they were an evil group.
Like the actual description of the group that was mentioned here in this article
Yeah.
basically kind of just paints it as being a place for various mythological and other beings to chill, and then they occasionally do other things.
I think
They
probably
sound
be
like
neutral.
a pretty neutral group,
Yeah, neutral.
Also, what
Yeah.
was one disease Bright didn't know that I hadn't listed? I'm done with scarlet fever.
Gotcha. So, just which neutral?
I'd be feeling a lawful neutral, if
Yeah,
not
that
true
sounds
neutral.
fair.
Yeah.
Both sound good.
Yeah.
Alright. At first, when I saw Country Club, I thought it was going to get really bad.
Yeah. It's a country club in the loosest sense. The main thing that makes like actual country clubs bad is the mixture of basically club for the super wealthy, designed to help insulate them from the struggles of the world, as well as the fact that like they're basically always based around golf primarily being a very ecologically destructive sport.
I'm very happy to have been surprised. Also, I
And
still want to. Can you help me remember the one disease that was after typhoid, after yellow fever, after scarlet fever?
I
You thinking
That's it.
cholera?
Yeah, cholera. There we go.
right. Yeah. Anyways. All right. Last Korean group of interest.
Yay!
The Violet. The Violet is one of the 6 large extra-dimensional clusters first confirmed in 2020, where organisms similar to Earth's crustaceans, annelids, and nematodes live. The extra-dimensional clusters, the precursor of the Violet, tend to attract other dimensions with similar laws of physics, life forms, and other traits. While an extra-dimensional cluster was pulling the baseline towards itself, the Violet was separated from the cluster and was shattered. Being fragmented into 1,000 shards, the Violet started to merge with the baseline, costing the Foundation many resources. The Violet has no current line of command or social structure, but attempts to invade our baseline by sheer population and replace their dead dimension with ours. The Violet's only fundamental purpose is their survival. Some pursue this goal by coexisting with baseline creatures, but others try to eliminate all local species and take their place. Their targets include the SCP Foundation.
I wonder why.
Its contact with the Violet organisms requires particular caution. I find that funny. It's just in the main target.
I've got 2 suspected categorizations here. This is either going to go into true neutral or my brain just died, or people group.
Gotcha. Alright. Hatchet, guess how many SCPs are connected to it?
2.
Let's see. Holy shit!
I got it?
Yeah, it's 2!
Yeah! We
You are
are the
sarcastically correct.
champions, my friend. And we'll keep on fighting to the end.
It's even better in that microphone! Anyways. Alright, we'll go to the smallest number and the biggest number. Alright. Oh, great! This one's already dangerous. That's great. Alright. Alright, so item SCP-326-KO, level 3 confidential. Containment class, esoteric. Secondary class, primal. Disruption class, Eki. Risk class... Huh?
What the? Wait, what did you just say?
Disruption class...
Primal. Okay. Okay.
Eki. Oh.
Yeah,
What?
I thought when you said Heimel, I misheard it as Hyman.
Oh my god.
Secondary class Hyman.
No. Risk class,
Ugh.
danger. Special containment procedures. Currently, 326-KO is a mutual containment due to an anomaly of 362-KO, an anomaly of -2, in the name of environmental conservation, the entry of civilians is controlled. In order to prevent irritation to -2, activities that may accompany strong shocks or vibrations, such as explosives or heavy equipment within 1 kilometers of 326 KO, are prohibited. Alright, personnel entering 326 KO for any reason must enter with a rope attached to avoid getting lost and avoid staying in 326 KO for more than 1 hour. Once every 12 hours, check the extent of 326 KO's reality adjusting inhibition field and -2's biodynamic energy level. When -3 appears, Mobile Task Force XY52 Nepenthes is focused on reducing the population of -3. Disposal of -3 is done once every 24 hours, and it may change depending on the frequency of appearance and the rate of population increase. Mobile Task Force Eta-21 Dragon Killers is also to be stationed nearby in case -2 has breached. Alright, so this is crossed out, but what was crossed out is if 326 KO's anomalous properties persist after the containment of -2 is breached, in order to prevent the expansion of reality-controlled containment field, 326 KO will be classified as Dominial and other reality-manipulating anomalies. Additional containment measures have been attempted, because it is just that it is impossible to proceed in the same way as general structure due to vibration and noise problems. The plan was established to transport and assemble 30 centimeters thick prefabricated steel plates and supports and fix them using surrounding features. Currently, a method to prevent abnormal symptoms of 326 KO is being studied, although limited. All of which was crossed out. Following the weakening of containment for 326 KO, this plan was cancelled. Incident: see 326 KO weakening of containment. Alright. Description: 326 KO is a redacted square kilometer birch forest located in Jirisan, South Korea.
Wait, what?
Jirisan. The birch trees that make up 326 KO are non-anomalous, with no genetic difference from the nearby common birch. Patula platyphylla? Anyways. As a result of cutting and observing one of the trees, it was confirmed that a yellowish stem rises along the inside of the tree, and this light stem is connected to the leaves. It has also been revealed that all trees making up 326 KO are connected by intertwining roots. These trees have taken root deep within -1, although non-anomalous soil at the depth of 3 to 4 meters. -1 is a rock layer that forms the ground on which trees that make up 326 KO grow. The composition component of -1 has a completely different component and structure from the starting bedrock layer. And radiation from uranium contained in -1 is converted into redacted particles through the Cooper-Scranton collapse. In addition, unknown particles formed through other decay processes were identified. The depth of -1 is estimated to be approximately 1 to 1.5 kilometers. It's not been revealed how -1 came to have a different composition than its surroundings as a result of nourishment with constant counter in 326 KO. A reality adjustment inhibition field that prevents reality manipulation is naturally formed throughout the forest. So reality manipulation objects are neutralized within 326 KO. Personnel entering the area 326 KO's effect suffered from the following symptoms of unknown cause for after approximately 10 minutes. It was confirmed that symptoms became stronger with time. Headaches, mild dizziness, disorientation, decreased function of the 5 senses, lethargy. 326 KO-2 is a large entity found inside -1 as a result of X-ray imaging. The length of the object is estimated to be around 900 meters, and it's the same shape like a dragon. -2 shows signs of vital activity by periodically increasing the biodynamic energy level measured during which time the range of reality-adjusting deterrent field generated by 326 KO decreases by an average of 15%. It turned out to be the degree of shrinkage is proportional to the increase of vital dynamic energy of -2, and when vital dynamic energy of -2 decreases again, the reality-adjusting suppression field begins to expand. According to residents of nearby villages, there is a story associated with the force designated as 326 KO. Once upon a time in this village, there was an Imugi who wanted to become a dragon, but he failed to become a dragon because he was too greedy and became King Sheol Yi. Angry Sheol Yi went around the village and was grumpy, causing a constant famine. The villagers held a ritual to the sky so that Sheol Yi had to withdraw. Then the sky became cloudy and thunder and lightning struck, and a very large lightning bolt struck Sheol Yi, and Sheol Yi was curled up and fell into the forest. Damn. Let's just suggest that King Sheol Yi is a kind of yokai handed down orally in East Asia, and the Imugi, which failed to become a dragon, was corrupted. It is said to cause natural disasters by emitting heat. Who is trapped in a force with unknown energy. As a result, the force of the expansive reality-bending suppression field generated by 326 KL and the force of -2 is balanced so that the reality-bending suppression field of 326 KL no longer expands. And at the same time as 326 KO, the hypothesis has been suggested that the inactive state of -2 continues. And in a similar model experiment conducted with samples of -1, in the original case, the suppression field was created and the rate of expansion was previously generated. This proved to be true when it was confirmed that the deterrent field was weakening and dissipating faster than it disappeared. Alright, Incident 326 KO-2. The Foundation succeeded in constructing a containment chamber to further contain reality manipulating anomalous entities, and several entities were introduced into the containment chamber to test the stability of the containment procedure. However, around 11 AM on redacted, 326 KO's reality-controlled containment field began to counteract the rate at a rate approximately 30% faster than normal. The speed progressed faster than the more reality-manipulating anomalies were put into the field, and was reduced to about 50% of the original. An earthquake with a magnitude of 3.5 occurred. At the same time, the vital energy level and body temperature of -2 began to increase rapidly, showing signs of activity. The Foundation promptly transported the put-in entities to the inside of the field, and earthquake subsided for the size of the field was restored to about 70%. Subsequently, it was then decided to abandon the plan to further contain anomalous objects. From my point of view, 326 KO's state is like pulling the chains that hold the monster out of the chain. When we bring out the reality manipulating anomalies into the field, we're putting more strain on the chain in the direction the monster is headed. The force that pulls the chain is constant, but as the load on the force on the chain increases, the isolation inevitably weakens. We must not put any reality manipulating objects inside it. Dr. Redacted. Alright. Okay, there's a last bit of information. Due to the earthquake that occurred in the containment of -2, it was weakened. A crack about 2 meters in width occurred in the ground composed of -1. This exposed part of -2's body had a detailed investigation of -2 was made through this. The following are additional findings of -2. Metal shell. The shell of Dash 2 is made of metal scales, of which the metal is 30% steel, 70% inconsistent with any other metal currently known to the Foundation. Despite Dash 2's high temperature, the scales show no signs of melting or carbonization. Biodynamic energy. Emission of the powerful biodynamic energy. The energy is generated with high levels of radiation during the activation cycle of Dash 2, causing local weather events and disasters such as lightning, hail, and fire around it. Flame. Usually the body temperature is measured to be around 3,500 degrees Celsius, and the body continuously emits flames that gently penetrate the outside. During the cycle of activation of Dash 2, the body temperature rises to about 10,000 degrees Celsius, with flames soaring to the surface of the cracked crack. However, despite the high temperature, there's no sign of Dash 1 being affected, and no heat conduction is observed. The non-anomalous traits that make up 326KL are also unaffected by heat, likely due to Dash 1's thermal insulation properties. Following the weakening of 326KL's containment, some change in Dash 2's condition was observed. Dash 2 currently has an average biodynamic energy level that has risen by about 30% and shows a high level of model radiation. Later, it was confirmed that an unknown species of arthropod appeared within 326KL. These arthropods have been observed gnawing on the trees that make up 326KL, and their numbers have been increasing over time. These arthropods have been designated Dash 3. The effects of Dash 3 on 326KL is negligible for a single small number of Dash 3 instances. However, as the number of instances increases, the extent of and strength of 326KL's reality-modifying deterrent field decrease. As a result, the current range of 326KL's reality control suppression field has been reduced to about 85% of its original discovery, and has been observed that the range continues to decrease. As a result of further observation, Dash 3 appears in the vicinity of 326KL and exhibits spatial refraction similar to that of Dash 3 when appearing and disappearing. Based on this, it was speculated that Dash 3 was an entity for an external dimension and a connection with the Violet. Classified as a group of interest for discuss how Dash 2 summons Dash 3 has not been clearly established. Oh shit, that actually leads to a different SCP than 529KL. That actually leads to a dead SCP.
Oh.
Well, damn. But I clicked the Violet, and that's what I got.
Well, the Violet's dead, I guess.
Well, no, it's just that it brought us to an SCP that is dead.
Okay.
Alrighty. Alright, so I'll go ahead and read what 621KO is. Alright. Description: SCP-621KO is divided into Dash 1 and Dash 2. Dash 1 is a structure in the form of a street lamp or sign that can appear around the world. Its appearance is the same as an ordinary sign or street lamp, but there's a poster on the body saying, "Give me food and I'll run an errand."
You know, that's
Fuck.
valid.
Look, they're trying. Dash 1's anomalous properties will occur several hours after placing edible organic matter or an object and writing the errand on a blank piece of paper fixed to the object excluded request that requires a substantial amount or can only be done by anomalous means. The organic matter and white paper are lost, and the person who made a certain request to the object hereafter 621KO-1-1 to fulfill the request in some way. The organic matter is issued. The faster and more accurately a given request appears to be fulfilled, Dash 1 moves periodically and its purpose of reason is unknown. Dash 2 refers to all anomalous insects related to Dash 1, primarily composed of several species of moths. Heterocera. If a subject places edible or organic matter on -1 and writes errands on a piece of paper attached to -1, several hours later the instances return to -1-1. Instances of -2 only perform actions that appear to be part of a request made by the subject and disappear immediately upon completion of the task. While -2 individuals appear to be able to die from external factors during this errands, it is almost impossible to witness -2, which die as soon as it senses a threat. Other than that, no accurate facts are known about -2 yet. So does that mean -2 just died by itself?
No, the neutralization of the SCP is not going to be caused by its by the nature of its -2.
Alright, we got experiment logs. Alright, SCP-621-KO experiment logs. Records of experiments using instances of 621-KO to determine the exact properties. What's crossed out is the permission of one level 3 or higher person is required for this experiment. Testing on 621-KO is no longer possible for the reasons described below. Experiment log 621-KO-RS1. Researcher Dr. Seon Min. Purpose: testing to determine 621-KO's response to expensive errands. Products: food waste 10 kilograms. Contents: give me 10 million Korean won. Result: after several hours, the paper and food waste attached to 621-KO attached to -1 were successfully dissipated, but -2 did not appear. Later, when a 101 coin owned by Dr. Min Sao N was completely destroyed or lost, or when the coin was used, it took on an anomalous property of being regenerated through some kind of anomalous action. Its exact working principle is unknown. Currently, the coin has been completely neutralized after a total of 100,000 regenerations. They destroyed the coin 100,000 times. Experiment log 621-KO RS3. Researcher Lee Seong-kyung. Purpose: experiments to find out the response of 621-KO to wishes that are impossible. Products: dead piglet carcass. Contents: please let me fly. Results: several hours later, the paper attached to -1 and the body were successfully destroyed. And one instance of -2 appeared and disappeared after leaving a plane ticket, and researchers Seong Lee's home. Plane tickets are expected to be available in September 2024. Well, oh, I wonder if they went on the plane. Experiment log 621-KO RS8. Researcher Agent Shang Chi Sung. Purpose: experiment to determine 621-KO's reaction to errors that are unfavorable to them. Products: a piece of sweets. Content: contains 621-KO, please. Result: all subsequent occurrences of 621-KO-1 had signs stating no access. In other words, fuck off. End.
What were they expecting?
I don't know. That's funny though. Alright. 621-KO-2 interview log. SCP-529-KO lived near 621-KO-1, and this is a recorded record of the process. SCP-529-KO appears. Instance appears to be approaching 621-KO-1. In order to establish contact with 529-KO, Dr. Clara, the researcher director of the instance, attempts to contact 529-KO. SCP-529-KO. Long time no see, Doctor. You haven't shown up since then, so why are you here again? I'm here to catch Tinkerbell. Okay. 529-KO begins to move rapidly. 529-KO arrives in front of -1. 529-KO pulls out a disposable lighter. Wait a minute, 529-KO. What are you about to set on fire? It's the Foundation's research asset. Still not working. Pest dark creatures that have to be killed and boiled. Now no one can stop me. You only need to cooperate this time. Just one time. Oh, I feel dizzy. So just tell me the point. Just the point. We are currently investigating 621-KO. Looks like you know quite a bit about the object, so I'm asking you to cooperate with the investigation without disposing of it for now. Okay, only this one time. 529-KO suddenly begins to pull out a shovel. Scrape the lower part of -1 with the shovel. What are you doing? Whoa, wait. A small hole appears in -1. Tens of thousands of bugs were chewed through a small hole, soon to be -2. Oh, of all things, I have allergies. As 529-KO finishes speaking, billions of organisms believed to be some sort of... I'm not gonna say that again. Moth begins to cover 529-KO. The instance exhibit no anomalous properties. I learned the first time.
I love slur moths.
Yeah.
Imagine if there was like a naming convention where there's just casually like certain praying mantises that are called the N-word mantis. That's what this feels like. Come on, man.
I need to request support for this sunlight explosion is heard. Clear. 529-KO starts burning a bug near it. It quickly spread to surrounding insects, and in an instant, all the moths are wiped out. Great. Are you okay now? Only one is left and the rest are burned. 529-KO? Oh, nothing. Just because a bug here begs to be saved. You mean -2 is intelligent and can talk? Oh, some of them. Then proceed with an interview with the entity that's begging you now, right now. But you won't be able to understand even if I write it down. You have to translate. Okay. All parts of the dialogue described below as -2 are interpreted by 529-KO. So what? Now ask. I'll translate. I surrender. I surrender. No one will kill you. -2. Maybe. What the fuck? Why the maybe?
Because because fucking 529 is hell bent on killing them. You just read this.
Wait. So what is that? Did that just kill hundreds of millions of our coworkers? That man has nothing to do with us. Also, didn't we stop him from attacking you further? I think so? That's right. Could you please attend the interview? If you do, we'll return you today without harm. I don't have a choice. First of all, please tell me about yourself. I am the Jade Longtail Silkworm Moth that lived on violets. The identification number among the same species is the Jade Moth -24204230948. Violet? Not that violet. You see the street lamp? There's a mention in it, and it's called a violet. I don't know why. Can you tell me more about violence? Oh, of course. What are you gonna ask first? Tell me everything you know about violence. Everything. Violence are basically the same here on Earth. The only difference is that they were no animals but us. When we first found the violence, no one was there, literally. So what? We decided to live there. Are you talking about insects like you? That's right, insects. No weird insects. All are intelligent, some have more unusual abilities. Keep telling me. Anyway, we are living in peace and being self-sufficient there. But one day, the violence suddenly began to turn to waste. The place is decaying, the water is no longer flowing, the air is stifling. Do you know why? I do not know. I see. Then why are you doing this? To revive my hometown. Violence were once more crowded with life than they are now. All kinds of noise bugs are coming in from the outside. I see. Oh, did I mention this? When the Violet was ruined, not all of them agreed to save the Violet. Who is that? Other bugs, especially flies, roaches, cicadas, mosquitoes. Well, you know, those guys you hate when you hear their names. Please tell me more. In the early days of the devastation of the violence, everyone was in favor of saving them, but when there was no sign of improvement, they ran away. It was argued we have to supply food and resources from outside. It would be foolish to save violence any longer. Can you see what outside means here? What is that? You really don't know? I mean, you guys, the House of Humans, they invade your place of residence, eat yours, and take yours away? Oh. In the process, we disregard with them. First of all, the risk is too high. Even if you're quick like them, most bugs die when they meet humans. Death. So what happened? Seeking coexistence with humans, we do it this way. I see. Well, we always pursued a coexistence with humans, but humans don't always like us. I think it's because of the bugs that left the Violet. Why? I don't think about it. Violent deserters, like mosquitoes, flies, and cockroaches. Furthermore, out of the anomalous ones, either they spread the plague by colluding with the plague gods, or become a huge danger in themselves. Are there a lot of bugs these days? Do you know, like that? Alright, at this point the interview seems to be sufficient. Lieutenant KO, thanks for your cooperation. You may be better off leaving now. Oh, are you done? Yes. Yeah, save us as promised. Then, let's start the game. What? 529KO pulls out a disposable lighter. Immediately after that, an unknown explosion occurs, and 529KO is lost. As a result of dispatching personnel for further investigation, there are hundreds of millions of bodies of -2 at the site. No live -2 instances were found during the investigation. 621KO's object class has been changed from Keter to neutralized.
Isn't 529 the SCP that we're about to talk about?
I think this is just the SCP that just hates. Yes, Keter. Yeah, I think just. Oh, that's 529. That's not what I thought they were.
I feel bad for the bugs.
But I think it's just a guy who just hates things coming out of the Violet. Basically, what we got from here. Because 529 just straight up murked 621.
Yeah, I think we've got enough to say. I think the Violet should go in people group.
Yeah, because
I agree.
this first SCP was hostile. The second one was innocent.
Yeah, they literally just trying to coexist with humans by saying, "Hey, give us food and we'll do things for you." That
And the
like that's
Foundation's
so
like,
wholesome.
okay, we're chill with you, but looks at the one guy. The one guy fucking explodes all of them.
The
Yeah.
fucking weird robot asshole. murders them all.
Find violent. God damn it! It didn't even add the violence. Let's do this again. Oh, it's wrong one. The violet. Thank you. All right. So where were we putting it again?
People group.
All right, people group. That's right. People tier. I feel
People
bad.
tier.
I feel bad for them.
Yeah, that was just bad.
They would have lived if the psychopath hadn't like exploded them.
No, it is more interesting that that's basically where a lot of the insects in SCP world came from. Is the violet. It's kind of funny. Oh yeah, I forgot in the Chinese branch, the O5 Council is a group of interest.
But,
Alright, so we already did the first one because I was on another list, so we're not doing you. Alright. The Kui Yang sect. Overview. According to currently known intelligence, the Kui Yang sect has a complicated historical background and is extremely well versed in the knowledge of the supernatural. It is believed that they are a small organization with a number fixed to redacted members. Although they claim to be a branch of Taoism, and the members take on the appearance of Chinese Taoists, they do not exhibit any characteristics of dogmatic religion, but are instead notable for their complex understanding of Chinese feng shui, geomancy, and alchemy, as well as knowledge of ancient Chinese culture and ceremonial tea. Anomalous objects that are related to Kui Yang sect are usually anomalous areas, buildings, structures, literature, and tools pertaining to Chinese alchemy. Some documents suggest that the organization may have been involved in multiple large historical events, not restricted to just those related to Chinese history. Information that is left by members of the Kui Yang sect are generally recognized to be reliable and even of great value. However, considering they are written in a lyrical form of classical Chinese prose, Foundation personnel should report these messages to the Foundation's expert panel immediately for analyzing procedures. Interpretation without formal knowledge of how to read the messages is forbidden, since members of the Kui Yang sect are skilled in escaping in occult invisibility. Capturing their members without sufficient preparation is not recommended. Current knowledge shows that their stronghold, which was redacted, was located in a concealed valley in the Noizhang Mountain. Alright, Chiri. How many SCPs are connected to it? What was that?
The Kui Yang sect?
Yeah, how many?
4?
Nope. Technically 3 some are stories.
I don't count the stories.
So yeah, 3.
So you were close.
Yeah.
Okay, I was 1 off.
Also, how much longer were y'all planning to do this for tonight?
I have no limit tonight.
Okay.
So we're limited by Hatchet.
Yes.
Yeah, because I was gonna say that I'm getting pretty friggin' socialed out.
Alright. So
that's fair.
I guess then we'll end it after this group.
Yeah, it's not an issue.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright. Alright. Item SCP-CN-204, Object Class Euclid. Alright, Special Containment Procedures. SCP-CN-204 is a naturally occurring phenomenon that there are no means of containing it. What? It sounds more like Keter than Euclid.
Yeah.
Anyways. Foundation weather satellites are carrying out constant monitoring of the complete weather conditions in all areas of China. All states located in China containing humanoid anomalies must be outfitted with weather monitoring systems. All weather information retrieved must be updated hourly. As SCP-CN-204 has caused the deaths of approximately redacted humanoid anomalies, to date, all humanoid containment cells must be designed with lightning resistance in mind, in order to be situated as far away from other structures as possible.
Bro, what?
This anomaly just purely attacks other humanoid anomalies.
With lightning?
If it is discovered that this SCP-CN-204 is targeting any humanoid anomaly in Foundation's custody, the target is to be immediately brought to an uninhabited, empty location to prevent lightning damages to the facility. As it is suspected that the anomaly may occur in any location within China, and that the anomaly's existence has become known to other organizations, Mobile Task Force Beta CN-33 Weather Radar has been stationed in locations throughout China in order to allow them to reach the affected locations and contain CN-204A. As the rate at which the phenomenon occurs has been steadily decreasing, the Foundation is convinced the excessive rate of lightning strikes is due to a global climatic anomaly. Description: SCP-CN-204 is a phenomenon responsible for a series of anomalous lightning strikes, 95% of which have occurred within China. The color of the lightning induced by this phenomenon is typically white or pink, but has been observed to be black on redacted separate occurrences. The voltage and amperage of such lightning strikes is similar to other lightning strikes, but the damage caused by the anomaly is marked more severe. CN-204 can occur regardless of the weather. However, the situations under which it occurs are always situations where lightning strikes would otherwise occur naturally. Of note is that implements such as Faraday cages and lightning rods are significantly limited in their ability to mitigate the effects of CN-204. It is currently unclear what mechanism produces this limitation. When CN-204 occurs, regardless of the weather and conditions, a large mass of storm clouds will manifest in the span of a few minutes, and lightning will repeatedly strike towards the target, -A. The lightning strikes will continue for a period of time before finishing. Using weather control to disperse the storm clouds is thought to be impossible, as they will immediately reform in the same location. According to records, CN-204-A are human subjects possessing anomalous abilities. Based on investigation into their previous activity, -A were not born with these properties but acquired them later in life. CN-204 will manifest targeting these individuals sometime after gaining their anomalous properties, with the observed time spans ranging from 1 week to redacted years. In addition, when CN-204 manifests, the anomalous properties of the targeted CN-204-A will begin to permanently increase in intensity up until the lightning strikes cease. This process will lead to, -A losing control of their anomalous properties. It is unknown whether the increase in anomalous properties caused CN-204's manifestation or vice versa. If the target is killed during the process, the anomaly will dissipate immediately. Statistics show that due to the anomaly's existence, the rate of survival for -A is less than 1%. Really? I wonder why.
Infinite lightning for target of storm.
those who survive the anomaly sustain irreversible physical or psychological damage. If the Foundation has not yet discovered a means of preventing or avoiding this damage, if the -A incident remains living after the end of the event, it will not become a target of CN-204 again in its lifetime. Although the Foundation has no means of determining whether a human or humanoid anomaly is an instance of -A, it has been noticed that 1 to 5 hours before occurrence of CN-204, the targeted -A will data expunge. The Foundation's Chinese branch first observed CN-204 in Redacted City on 19 redacted, followed by an explosion it caused. Following this, Foundation employed the cover story lightning strike on a gas station causing an explosion and hypnotized all witnesses. Which means it was shooting so much lightning it blew up the area.
Wild.
Oh, there's a video. Oh.
Oh.
I was hoping it would be an actual video.
Aw.
I mean, to be fair, unless that said video was given subtitles, we wouldn't be able to understand it.
True. Note 1, this video was obtained after Foundation's first discovered CN-204's existence. Note 2, all relevant civilians have been anesthetized. Subject CN-204-redacted. Nails properties. The fingernails of the object can grow rapidly. What? Location, redacted city outskirts at the foot of the mountain. Lightning period, 3 minutes. Recording. A subject is riding on a bicycle. Storm clouds form over the subject. Lightning strikes next to the subject several times, causing him to slip off his bicycle. Subject's anomalous qualities begin to change. Subject's skins begin to secrete a substance that transforms into keratin upon exposure to air. Subject appears to have accustomed to the change in anomalous properties. At this point, lightning directly strikes the subject, causing the subject to uncontrollably twitch on the ground. Subject regains consciousness and produces several centimeter thick layer of keratin to protect itself from further lightning strikes. A stronger lightning strike hits the subject, followed by yet another lightning strike. Lightning storm ends. Subject is not rescued and dies.
God damn.
Damn. Damn. What is this SCP?
So they just watch someone die? Like, interesting.
Oh my god. Alright. Oh no, I see the next one. This is bad. Subject CN-204-redacted. Anomalous properties. Increased ability to recover from injury.
Oh no.
Location: a road in redacted city. Lightning period 1 minute 53 seconds. Recorded. Subject is walking. Lightning strikes the subject. Not next to him or anything. Immediately strikes. Subject gets up from the ground. Wounds sustained from the subject rapidly heal. A second lightning strike causes the subject to fall onto the ground. Subject gets up from the ground. Subject's anomalous properties begin to strengthen. Subject's rate of healing increases significantly. Lightning continues to strike the subject multiple times, but the subject heals immediately. Subject escapes to a nearby residential building. An extremely strong lightning strike hits the entrance of the building, causing it to collapse. Redacted people, including the subject, die. This storm is spiteful.
It's just
The storm was just pissed at him and just struck until he died? God damn.
Did the GOC make this storm?
That's a good joke, actually.
Hi, Chew. Subject SCP-CN-204-redacted, knows properties. Ability to control airflow. Location, Site CN-06, empty space and humanoid containment area. Lightning period, 30 minutes! Oh my god. Recording. Research conducts testing on subjects' normal abilities. Storm clouds begin to form. Experiment is cancelled. All personnel return indoors. Lightning strikes the roof, followed by another strike, then that hits the backup generator. Subject appears pained. It is suspected that the subject's abilities have begun to alter. Area around the site begins to experience storm winds. All other personnel have already established a safe distance. Subject loses control of Nala's ability, creating a redacted level windstorm. Wind subsides, storm clouds are blown away. Subject claims to have understood his powers. Storm clouds reform. The subject uses his abilities to disperse them. Storm clouds freeform directly above the subject's head. Subject panics and requests assistance from the Foundation personnel. However, at the rate of lightning strikes rapidly increased, any attempts to push the subject ended in failure.
Oh.
From 7 minutes 12 seconds to 30 minutes 2 seconds. During this period, the subject dispersed the lightning clouds for redacted times, attempted to use his abilities to carry himself out of the area under the redacted cloud. Under the clouds of redacted times. However, the storm clouds apparently reformed above his head within seconds. Subject was eventually hit by lightning and killed. Oh my god! It is the
like
most spiteful SCP I have read.
I feel like every time someone tries to not die by it, it gets just angry and goes more intensely.
Oh my god. Alright. Subject CN-204-redacted, anomalous properties. Interference with vision of human subjects within 10 meters. Location, plane, and redacted China. Lightning period, 1 minute 30 seconds. Recording. Subject is filming. Rain clouds begin to appear. Foundation containment personnel are deployed to the scene. During this period, members of the Global Occult Coalition, Chaos Insurgency, Serpent's Hand, Galactic Federation, several other anomalous organizations also appear at the scene. GOC and Serpent's Hand members begin exchanging fire. That makes sense. Foundation personnel are caught in an attack from Chaos Insurgency. Galactic Federation personnel attempt to capture the subject in the confusion, but are stopped by the Chaos Insurgency and Serpent's Hand. Foundation personnel call for mobile task force support, leaving the situation out of control. Lightning strikes the subject, but the subject survives. The Federation members attempt to sneak attack the GOC personnel. Teaming up with the Serpent's Hand members successfully extinguish GOC presence. They are caught up by an attack from the Chaos Insurgency. Foundation containment personnel leaving the scene suddenly attack the Serpent's Hand members, drawing heavy fire from the Serpent's Hand members. MTF attempts to contact containment personnel, but does not receive a reply. GOC personnel take the opportunity to recover from the attack and stage a counterattack. MTF arrives and opens fire on Galactic Federation personnel, incurring heavy losses on the Federation side. Chaos Insurgency and Serpent's Hand forces exchange fire. GOC forces produce heavy weapons begin indiscriminately attacking all other factions. A suspected Serpent's Hand leader produces a protection sigil-like object that produces a blue light. All weapons at the scene cease to function. All task force rushes Insurgency forces and attacks in melee combat. All other personnel except for the subject join in the melee. Blue light from protection sigil fades, and a GOC operative's gun accidentally fires and strikes the subject's head, mortally wounding the subject. Note, all survivors claim to have seen a fearsome image. Later analysis revealed that the following lightning strike, the subject gained the ability to project its thoughts onto humans within 1 kilometer, causing hallucinations in all 5 senses. In addition, the video shows that the various groups of interest have discovered the existence of this anomaly. I suggest creating a mole test for specifically to deal with this kind of situation. Dr. L redacted. Request approved. O5 redacted. Oh my god. Alright. We have an experiment logbook, apparently.
How are they able to experiment with a storm that doesn't listen and doesn't like?
I already see ahead. Note 1. The test log records the Foundation's attempts to decrease the mortality rate in -A. Note 2. As the full log is overly long, the following consists of excerpts. Subject CN-204-redacted, anomalous properties. Ability to return to a healthy state after death. Procedures implemented, none. Recording. Lightning strikes a subject, killing them immediately. Storm clouds begin to disperse. Subject revives. Storm clouds immediately begin reforming. A second lightning strike is subject, killing them immediately. Storm clouds once again begin to disperse. Subject dies and revives redacted times. Time required to revive decreases and the process continues. Black lightning hits an object. Subject does not die. CN-204 ceases. Analysis subject reveals that other than entering a vegetative state, the subject is capable of feeling any damage, whether physical or psychological. Oh my god. The storm made him put him in a vegetative state because I couldn't kill him.
God damn.
What is with this SCP? Subject SCP-CN-204, anomalous properties. Subject is capable of infinite self-replication, with copies possessing the same ability and being controlled by the consciousness. Procedures implemented. Each copy of the subject is placed in a separate lightning-proof car and autonomously driven to various locations. Recording. All copies of the subject board the cars, which begin to plan their respective routes. Storm clouds begin to form, covering an area of redacted square meters. Controller orders cars to increase in speed. Storm clouds increase further in coverage. Lightning begins to strike each of the cars. Subject's abilities increase, requiring only a few milliseconds to replicate. Several hundred lightning strikes each hit different cars, passing through the window screen and causing an explosion in each car. Survivors escape the car and hide, continuously self-replicating and attempt to black out the lightning. A large-scale lightning storm occurs over the redacted area. Rain of lightning strikes increases to up to redacted times per second. All copies of the subject are killed.
How spiteful can a storm be?
What the fuck?
I'm not sure how. I mean, I thought it was spiteful before, but damn.
Oh my god. Subject SCP-CN-204 redacted. Anomalous properties. Ability to control the direction of gravitational force affecting him. Procedures implemented. Subject is sent to space in a rocket. Recording. Getting expunged.
Oh.
It followed. What the fuck?
It followed him into space and bad things happened.
Alright. Alright. Next subject. Anomalous properties. Immunity to electric shocks under 10,000 volts. Procedures implemented. Subject is kept in a bunker 2,000 meters underground. Recording. Storm clouds begin to form. Lightning constantly strikes the ground, creating a deep pit in the ground. Rate of lightning strikes begin to decrease. Subject becomes able to withstand electric shocks of up to 1 MV. Ambient temperature in the bunker anomalously increases. Storm clouds begin to form inside the bunker. Storm clouds fill the bunker. Camera is destroyed. Recovery team reaches the bunker. Subject is already dead. Autopsy reveals that the subject died of burns from high temperature electrified gas.
God damn.
And the last subject. Anomalous properties. Subject is capable of obtaining information unknown to current human science by an unknown method. Procedures implemented. Subject was shown all information relating to CN-204 available to the Foundation instructed to produce a device that prevents CN-204 from harming -A. Device construction was overseen by redacted agents and researchers. Redacted days later, the subject produced a roughly 1 meter tall pillar-like metal object, which when activated could produce a hemispherical protective barrier, 10 meters in radius, which completely prevents free electrons from passing through it. Recording. Storm clouds begin to form, devices activated. Lightning strikes the barrier, but is blocked. Following this, the rate of lightning strikes begins to increase continuously, but the barrier continues to protect the subject. High-speed photography shows that the barrier has been struck by lightning redacted times. 2, 3, 4.
Oh!
Oh my god! It blocked each time the device continues to function properly. It's suspected that each time lightning strikes the barrier, a part of the energy is absorbed by the device. Lightning stops. Storm clouds begin to rapidly increase in area. Lightning strikes from the ground up to the sky, hitting the subject. The subject dies. The device immediately ceases to function. Foundation personnel attempt to turn it on, but fail. The device has been sent to a reverse engineering team for further analysis. It went.
God, how spiteful!
Oh no. Note, according to the information gained from the Abnormality Institute, the Kuei-Yang sect was aware of CN-204's existence as early as redacted and had used it to data expunged. The information also showed that up until 19 redacted, CN-204 had not manifested for redacted years. This group of interest used the SCP!
Probably to kill people. I don't see what else you could use it for. It's a spiteful asshole.
This is... What is with this SCP?
Well, if the thing it wants to kill doesn't die, it's angry. And it won't stop until it gets what it wants.
Okay, apparently the next SCP is just a fucking table.
Well, as long as it's not a murderous table, I think that's fine.
I swear to fuck if it's murderous. Item SCP-CN-440, Object Class, Safe. Special Containment Procedures. SCP-CN-440 is contained on a high-value item locker in Site CN-71. Access to the item is restricted to Level 3 CN-440 personnel only. When conducting testing, CN-440 and a set of standard Huangdong Mahjong tiles are to be placed in a standard temporary humanoid containment chamber at Site CN-71. And at least one member of personnel with level 2 CN-440 clearance and 3 members of personnel with at least level 2 clearance are to play a round of Mahjong on the table. As there are currently sufficient personnel for testing, all requests to use CN-440 for non-research purposes will be rejected. When using CN-440, aside from a region with a radius of 5 centimeters around CN-440 itself, the rest of the room is to be kept below a light level of 50 LM. All personnel who have reported seeing CN-440-8 instances while playing Mahjong using CN-440 and have passed psychological evaluation can be granted level 2 CN-440 clearance. Arrangements will be made for these personnel to carry out testing involving communication with -8 instances. In order to prevent a reoccurrence of incident CN-440, a maximum of 2 personnel with level 2 CN-440 clearance may use CN-440 at one time. Description: CN-440 is a traditional style Mahjong table discovered by the Foundation in a flat in Yau Mei Tai, Hong Kong, after reports of a haunted Mahjong table surfaced. Under most conditions, besides the marker signifying each player, the 4 players' Mahjong are denoted by the 4 cardinal directions arranged in an inverted compass. The East player is always the dealer. being fixed on one side of the table. CN440 has no significant differences from a standard mahjong table. However, when the table is placed in a room with light level under 50 LM, and 4 players play a game of Hong Kong-style mahjong on it, all players will claim to be able to see 4 pairs of translucent hands, one at each corner of CN440. These hands cannot be recorded on video. These hands cannot be physically touched, but will substitute the players in receiving chips or money and shuffle the tiles at the beginning of each round. Out of the players who have used CN440, approximately 15% have been able to see these hands connected to 4 feminine entities wearing Hong Xing Hang Tay Tan college uniforms, designated -A-1 through -A-4, and activate the -A instance corresponding to the seat they are using. Each -A occupies one side of the table, and each stand behind the players, with both hands extended to participate in the game. No rule has been determined for which subjects are capable of seeing these entities. According to descriptions provided by players who can see -A, their bodies and clothes are in a severe state of decomposition and damage, and similarly to the hands appearing on the tables, they are translucent and incorporeal. Of note is that these 4 entities do not have heads. The section where their heads would connect to their head, or to their necks, appears to be a non-translucent black. Alright, activated CN440-8 instances are capable of fluent communication in Cantonese, English, and Mandarin, and will interact with players in the seats they are standing behind who are capable of seeing them, providing them with the suggestions as to what tiles to discard and whether to call chows. A chow is a set of 3 suited tiles and conservative numeric values, for instance of 4, 5, or 6 characters, or pungs. A pung is a set of 3 of the same tile, for instance 3 of the red tiles. They are also seemingly capable of hearing external sounds, but their speech can only be heard by the person they are standing behind. Although the other players cannot converse with these entities, recording devices are fully capable of recording their speech. Plain recording to CN440-A suggestions allows players to more easily win. Winning in mahjong is achieved by completing one's hand, typically with 4 melds, either chows or pungs, optionally kongs, and a pair of eyes, 2 identical tiles. However, their style of play differs between each entity. -A entities appear to be capable of communicating with each other, however, no recording of this has been successfully taken. Addendum CN440. Note, irrelevant discussion pertaining to the game has been excised. So far, I haven't seen where... Alright, position east, height 139 centimeters. Effect on player. Affected player will win with higher scoring hands in the first few rounds of the game. The effect will slowly fade as time goes on. Interview log. Interviewer Dr. Redect. Begin recording. Hello, CN440-A-4. Hello there. Wait, that's not my name. And how shall I refer to you? Well, call me whatever you like, then. Do you not know your own name? I can't remember. I can remember everything, just not my own name. Then you remember why you manifest at this table. Of course. We are spirits of mahjong who live in this table. Spirits of mahjong. Yes, that's right. We accompany you in playing the game, chat with you, and help you make this boring game a little less boring. That's what the boss said. Wait, who's this boss of yours? Did he turn you into what you are now? Boss is the boss. A very good boss. Don't talk about him like it's some villain. Pung, pung, pung. Really, grab that tile. Omitted. After that, throw to 3, no. Oh wait, wrong place. After that, throw to 3, no, the 7 of characters. What happened? Seems to me like you're tired. I'm hungry, so I can't focus. Do you even need to eat? No, we don't need food, but having an empty stomach is so hard to bear. If we had burritos, that would be great. I'd be back at my best in a bit. Do you like burritos? Yes, they're my favorite. I first saw them in my comics, and after having one, I just wanted to keep going, you know? I started playing Mahjong because of that comic, too. Really? Hasn't anyone come to bring you food? No one. Most people run away screaming when they see me. And my sisters, I don't even have time to ask them for food. Then next time I'll bring you a burrito, alright? Really? Thank you. But, well, how are you gonna eat it? Not a single bite, of course. Is there a problem? Wait, what did I do? Oh. In recording. Note, following this, Dr. Redactor requested to refine -A-1 a burrito on our next test to determine -A-1's ability to influence the player. This was objective for safety reasons. What did I do? Alright. Position, south, height 56 centimeters, effect on player, affected player will become more often. Weight on Dio, second tower with a pair of eyes, or Shongdong. The middle tile and its channels, such as the 2-6, when one has the 1 and 3-6. When waiting for tiles, win the game. Interview log. Interviewer, agent redacted. Begin recording. Hello, CN 440-A-2. Please just call me Miss Chairperson. This is the company's rule. I seek your understanding. I know you have many questions to ask me. Call me Miss Chairperson, or I will not answer. Alright, Miss Chairperson. Can you tell me how you became a spirit of Mahjong? Spirit of Mahjong? Do you mean immortal the table? -A-1 said you were the spirits of Mahjong. Plus, the immortal the table makes me think you're one of the spirits that shows up when you do a ritual. Where's the calling of Taxian Bod his Atava, a ritual in Chinese folk religion. Are you talking about a girl on the east side? She always forgets the right names. Don't worry about her. As for a ritual, I never heard of any such thing. But our boss always said that we were the immortals of the Mahjong table. That I definitely know. -A-1 also mentioned a boss. Can you tell me more about this boss? Boss, he wears a gray, like a worn-out gangster. He looks like he hadn't stopped to freshen up in years. When in darkness, he shines like a light. The darkness? Where were you then? At that time, I was already dead, so I can't say where I was. I didn't go to heaven, and I didn't go to hell. I went to this dark place. With nothing there, it was so boring. And then you met this boss. That's right, he found me and asked me, are you searching for a good time? How else was I to respond? I've been waiting for a long time. You were waiting for this for a long time. My precognition had...
Okay, which one of your cats is that? That's possibly the loudest in all the recordings I've heard you a cat get. It's impressive.
I'll continue now. My precognition's always been on point. Why else do you think I always wait for Dio and Shangdong in recording? Position west, height 150 or 45 centimeters. Effect on player. Affected player will show a preference for Kongs. A Kong is a set of all 4 of the same tile in the game, such as all 4 of the Ace Twins, and will achieve Gang Sheng Zemo, completing a winning hand with a Kong, more often than the average. Interview log. Interviewer researcher redacted. Begin recording. Now, when researcher redacted began the game, he noticed a book with an eligible title. and similar qualities to -A entities floating in front of -A-3, whose pages flipped every 12 seconds on average. Hello, -A-3. Hello, sir. Do you remember what your last moments were? Sir, actually, you don't have to be so euphemistic. I'm very well aware that I'm dead. You want to ask me how I died and came here, yes? Yes. It was after school. Me and my sister and our best friends were waiting for the bus. Something happened and a bus crashed into the bus stop. I only managed to push my sister out of the bus stop, and after that, I got pushed. In the end, besides all of us screaming and that kind of horrible sound you hear when mincing meat, I couldn't hear anything else. After that, I found myself in the darkness. The rest, well, your people heard it from the South Lady. And did you recognize the other 3 immortals at the table while you were alive? Actually, they were my 3 sisters who were waiting at the bus stop with me. We're like old friends. In that case, before we came, were any people you talked to? Most people got scared off the second they saw our hands. Not even considering the people who could see the rest of us. There was this one time 4 really scary priests came to see us. They were the only people I talked to before you came. Which is to say you were scared of those priests. Yes, as soon as they approached, we felt like they were being suppressed. Since we're bound to this table, we can't go too far from it. At that time, I was scared, so scared I couldn't speak. So what did they tell you? They said they were from the Orthodox Kuei sect, and were here to investigate a haunting in this area. The priest by my side even said he wanted to have me exercise. And then, like how my sister on the north seat managed to persuade what looked like their leader. They didn't want to exercise us anymore, so they played another round and left. 3 days later, you took the table here. Thank you for cooperation. Information you provided is of great help to us. You don't have to thank me. As long as you keep playing Mahjong with us, I think that's enough.
So,
Yeah?
how long have you been reading this SCP? Or like the stuff for this group?
Quite a bit.
Yeah, 'cause pretty sure I passed out for it.
Oh.
Does that mean your cat was meowing while you were asleep?
I think he's what woke me up.
Oh. Well, he was also loud enough to where I think he was the loudest cat on any stream so far.
Luckily, most information for this group with this SCP happens right now. So that's good. Alright, position north, height 152 centimeters. Effect on player. Affected player will collect tiles of the same suit, often producing.
How about we
Nice.
rate the group?
Well, we don't know how they interacted with this table. Like this
It
discusses.
sounds like they literally took the spirits of dead people and put them in a table.
I don't think it was them because they went to exercise. I don't think they're the boss.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. Anyways. Guys. Which is a winning hand, a combination of only suited tiles of one suit and unsuited honor tiles. Or Ginyais. A winning hand with only suited tiles with the same suit and no honor tiles. Wins. Interview log. Interviewer, Agent Redacted. Begin recording. Hello. -A-4. Just call me A4. That destination is far too long. Alright, A4. For what A-3 said, you managed to convince some priests of the Kuei sect not to exercise you. Is that correct? Yes, we're not demons after all. We're only immortals of the table who help people feel satisfied when playing Mahjong. Visiting them wasn't hard. So besides these, what else did those priests say? They said before they left that they wanted to take us to a more suitable place. 3 days later, you came and took us here. Was there anything else they said? They told us to tell our supervisors the following. Immortals of the table manifest 2 is beautiful, 3 is dangerous, 4 will be stopped quickly. Too much is just as bad as too little. Remember this at all costs. What do you think this means, sir? I think this means there shouldn't be 3 people like me sitting here playing. Is that saying the 4 of us sisters can't play together? That's so boring. Do you not normally compare notes with each other on how to play? We can't. Besides shuffling, we cannot directly interfere with the game and can only feel the joy of playing Mahjong through making suggestions to you, the players. If nobody sees us, there's nothing we can do. In that case, have you ever had a game where more than one player could see you? Only that time with the priest. The one sitting with me and the one sitting in the south chair. Those 2 could see us. It's been so long since I traded tips with the chairperson. That was possibly the most refreshing game I've played. Are you close to A-2? Yes, the glasses I'm wearing were from the shop she introduced to me. But you don't have a head. How do you wear glasses? Lies, our head had always been here. How can you say something like that? I'm not talking to you anymore. That's how the game ended. A4 refused any attempts at conversation. So the previous one, the group was used a dangerous anomaly, to say the least. And this one, they were just trying to get rid of a demon. What they thought was a demon.
The dead people in the table?
Yeah. So they did something really awful and, well, tried to do something good, so I don't know. So do you put them in neutral?
Like I said, I don't. I was. This is on YouTube. I literally passed out for.
Yeah, Hatchet passed
majority of
out. They
this.
wouldn't
Yeah.
know.
That's
Our only
fair.
thing is, so our only interactions with them so far was them trying to exorcise dead people out of a table and using a spiteful lightning spirit to kill people.
Yeah. Alright. So I just wanted to do this right here real quick for next SCP. According to intelligence gathered from the Quang set, if CN675 were to operate without error, the final product -1 should be a Kit Kat chocolate bar with normal packaging and appearance, with twice the size of normal Kit Kat chocolate, and the production date reading December 31st, 2008. Due to relevant text of the stone tablet being ineligible and the lack of relevant intelligence, it is currently unknown what the effects of ingesting a normal -1 would be. What? Since regarding the recipients by insect and Nestle SA Roundtree Professional Company have yielded no valuable leads. Okay, so apparently this is a chocolate SCP.
Wait, what?
Or yeah, it's candy. Or something like that. Yeah, it that's one of her instincts from normal Kit Kat chocolate in both composition and taste. The only difference being imprint bearing the words Hershey's on the object corresponding to Hershey's milk chocolate product. Yeah, this SCP is just chocolate, but you have to do. But it's odd. You have to do certain ways. All right, so I'm gonna try. I'm thinking it's mainly in the neutral categories. Only one they did something really awful. Because the last one, they just gave information. Here, they just try to get rid of a demon. Well, what they thought was a demon. And the last one to use a storm. I mean, the first one used a storm. So what do you think, Jerry?
Well, they use lightning to murder people, but they also like tried to help the spirits attached to the table, and I did not really listen to the chocolate for some reason.
Yeah, they're basically just saying if done in a specific way, you'll get a Nestle chocolate bar. They basically gave information for that SCP.
Wait, what?
Yeah, they were the one who gave the Foundation information on how to do that with the SCP.
With the chocolate SCP?
Yes.
What was the chocolate SCP? Like I said, I spaced out.
Just this one. Base. Alright. Didn't actually. Alright. I didn't actually read what the description was. I just went over down here where what talked about the group. To be quick so I can Hatchet can go rest. But anyway, CN675 is a device composed of a gold-plated pipe with twists in complex shapes, splitting off and rejoining itself multiple points, with a ground area of 5 by 5 meters and a height of 3 meters. The diameter of the pipe at its maximum is reported to be 100 millimeters and a minimum of 20 millimeters. Tests on the subject suggest that it dates over 500 years ago. So, depending on how long you play the pipe, you can get certain items. Get the chocolate bar, which isn't odd, but yeah.
Okay.
I'm guessing chaotic neutral.
You know what? Yeah.
There you are. There we go. Alright, now we go in ending soon. You okay, Hatchet?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm alright.
Sorry, I think my brain has started to officially turn off for the night. I am not tired, I am not hungry, my brain just shut off. Also, I wish I could be upset at Mount Geary, but it actually is very beautiful. Not sure how I feel about that.
Alright. I pretty much grabbed who I'm gonna raid. Jerry, do you have any last words for stream?
I don't know. I've kind of realized that my name can be used as like a dirty joke. There's nothing I can do about it. And I can't even complain because That part looks amazing. How should I feel about that? I don't know. If I had the money or chance to visit it, I probably wouldn't, no matter how amazing it looks, because it would feel awkward. Imagine Jiri on Mount Jiri. There would be no way to make that not sound dirty. But I also can't hate that mountain because it's, man, that looks like a beautiful place to visit.
Yeah, it's nice.
It's funny, now that I apparently passed out for an hour, I'm feeling pretty good.
Alright. How did you get any last first for stream?
When in doubt, uh, I'll praise the buffalo.
Oh my god. Anyways, Danger Noddles. I hope to see you guys next time for your next mission. Tomorrow I'll be doing Power World. I'm pretty sure Jerry will be with me at call.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I can get behind praising buffaloes as well, but I'm also part Blackfoot, so that's probably not exactly shocking.
Yeah. Also,
Although this is talking like the actual buffaloes, not what white folk decide to. Well, I think primarily white folk decide to call bison.
yeah. Anyways, and the last thing I'll say before I hit the raid button